we did another very famous so-called uh, jump interview in the case of the Airbus story, which many of you know. I was a producer uh, on the first Airbus story, along with researcher Harvey Kishore, who was a very important figure in that story and subsequent stories. And we confronted Karl-Heinz Schreiber in the garage of his home, I think it was in Munich. And that was certainly a jump interview, and no one had any. We went right into his garage to try to get him on camera to talk to him. Now he laughed it off. He got in his car and he drove off, and he didn't really care, because he was a strong, competent person. He didn't care. He was used to dealing with the press. When we did that, no one raised any question about whether this was an appropriate tactic in order to try to elicit an interview from a principal in a story. No one cared. No one even raised it for a second. So a lot depends on the public's perception of the person you are trying to interview, whether they perceive them as weak, as strong, as evading interviews inappropriately. There are all sorts of perceptions that color the public's judgment about whether that tactic of trying to obtain an interview is appropriate or not.